Hi, I am Mohit Kumar Panigrahi, a second year BTech Computer Science Engineering student at Lovely Professional University. This series is a summer project where I am teaching Python programming for the ground up, following my university's own INT 108 syllabus, unit by unit. Over this series, we will go from installizing Python and writing your first program all the way through conditional loops, function, and recursion and object oriented programming and file handling, plus every practical lab program from the syllabus itself. Each video has a downloadable slide deck linked in the description so you can follow along, take notes, or revise later without rewatching the whole thing. Alright, let's get started. Hello, guys. So, as you know, our syllabus is like in the end. So, today we will do a complete recap, like a one shot for the Python. And as you know, this is the new AI time. So, we'll today use the AI latest AIs models to study Python in a in a Gen Z way. Okay, let's do it. So basically, this is the handbook that I will follow to not miss any questions or any theories. Okay, so let's today use Gemini first. See, so let's master the Python syllabus together step by step. We'll explore each concept interactively with practical code example, explain how the output works, and use quick practice questions to build your mastery. So unit 1 is Python fundamental and control flow, variable letter types, typecasting, input output formatting. Okay, so then let's start with our first concept. So okay, so in Python we don't need to declare variable type explicitly. Python infers the type dynamically based on the value assigned. So basically what happens is that the Python we don't need in like in C and C++, we first need to mention the which type of data type we are taking, but in Python we don't need to mention that. It just do it dynamically, like it there is the automatic features that it do it. That's the advantage of using Python. Okay, like see here, student name is equal to Aman, that is string. Roll number is equal to 101, that is integer. But remember, when we write in roll number, that if we write Aman in roll number, then roll number will be an string. Okay, so that's that thing to remember. CGPA is 8.75, that is a float. And is enrolled is equal to true, so that is a boolean value. And also you remember that, right, that for a boolean value in true and false the T and F should be capital. Okay, remember that thing. Now layer print student name, type of roll number. Okay, so let's quickly check this. Okay, here is the output of that, but we'll verify it. Okay, using our VS code. Wait a minute. Okay, ignore this. Let's do one final. One set P. Okay. Okay. See here. You are running it. Okay. Let's run it. See. Your student is Aman. Then type of roll number, class int, it's integer type, CGPA is float type. Okay, so that's what we are talking. Now let's move back. So, so I think we're getting it. This is the exact output that we had get. Now typecasting user input. So by default the input function in Python always read data as a string. If you want to perform calculation you have to explicitly convert typecast it. So typecasting string to integer, num is equal to int 10, num2 is equal to int. So what happened is that here we are saying that here 10 is a integer, okay. So what, see there is a double column, so we are basically converting a string into integer because the thing which is inside a double column is a string. Let me show you what I am talking about. Okay, see here we are changing here, see just okay, and here see, forget everything else, focus on this part, but and we're deleting everything else, just focusing on what's important now. See, so basically here we had changed the CGPA inside a column, okay, and now we are printing a type. See, here CGPA string. So what happen is when we write here like int, okay, see now I'm converting this string into an integer. See here, wait a second, in line 4 there is an error. Okay, sorry. Basically, see here now it says become an integer. That's like we can change it to float. Now let's do it. See now it says we change to float. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are deriving it, we are first describing the what data type we want. Okay, see now here the two string we are adding it and the total we are getting the 30. Okay, just like that. Now this is the question, you do it. The answer could be 53 because it's a string now. Let's wait for it. Basically, I am using my college Wi-Fi. That's why it's a little slow, but it's fine. It is quite faster in the daytime and night also. Sometimes, not every day. Sometimes it's not coming. There's issues going on here. That's how life is. We can't do anything about it. Just need to do what we need to do. Uh, it's not coming, not coming. What to do now? Yes, spot on both variable and string use. Okay, see. So this what I done here is, see, this to a string. So I am adding this. That's called concatenation. Basically adding up two string, then it gives the sum. Now provide arithmetic operator in Python. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. If you don't know what addition, subtraction, multiplication, division is, I know what I mean, okay? Just go to nursery, bro. Come on. Just kidding. Okay, see here there is a floor division. If in floor division, it's written the largest number less than or equal to division result. So what happened? Already I told you that let's remove all the decimal places. Okay, so there's a decimal point. After that, what is written, it will remove it, just return an integer. Okay, but the division always return a float no matter what. 4 divided by 2 is 2.0. Okay, not 2, but in float division it's 2. That's the question. Modulus provide the remainder of the after division exponential power calculation. Okay, so 2 power 3, what, 8? Got it, right? Easy. Now quick check. Yeah, do it. That could be 3. 19 floor division 5. 3, right? Yes. Now modulus. That could be 4. Let's do it. Verifying it. Yes, potency. I'm tutoring. I'm just helping, not flexing anything. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just like that. Now conditional statement if elif else. Next step is control flow. Okay. So now we are reached to if elif and else. If you remember, it is called as conditional statement. That means, let me show you. See, comparison operator are the what? Double equal to, is equal to, not equal to, less, lesser, greater, smaller than equal to, greater than equal to. Logical operators are and or not. So basically, when marks is greater than 90, it will print O. Greater than 75, it will print A. And greater than 60, it will print A. Else it will be grade B. So like, and always remember one more thing is if you write here 60 and here 90, then it will print, if 78 it will print O. Okay, but it will not print A plus because it's true here. Okay, so that you need to remember, that you need to arrange it in periodically. Okay, don't rationalize like serial wise 90, 75, 60. Okay, now your print grade, you can direct print it. See, your grade is A plus. Now let's do a quick check. Score is equal to, okay, one more thing, let's discuss the what is if, elif and else. Okay, so here we use if. Let's just understand basic English grammar. Okay, now if this condition is true, then do this. If elif means else. Okay, if elif else, so listen, first if. Okay, then here is elif. If you write if, then you always need to write else. Okay, but if you want, if you have more condition, more than one, just in like this case, if greater than 90. Okay, second case is what, 75 and 60. But okay, for that you need to add elif, because you can write elif as more time as we want. There is no limit for elif statement to use, but after elif you just, we need to mention else. Okay, because if all these three statement false, then else will run. So that's something to remember. Now it's not like compulsory that you always need to write else here, but for logically, if, because there is many cases when all fails, like there are many students that can have B grade. I'm not saying that, but yeah, they are. But if you follow this channel in Python, then you will not get B. Okay, you can get A, right? A plus. If you work hard, then you will get O. Just use Gemini or ChatGPT, you can learn it. Now here see, here print, it's A plus. Now let's do a quick check. Score is equal to 85. If score greater than 80 and attendance greater than 75, print eligible for honor. Elif score 80 or attendance 75, print eligible for regular exam, else print not eligible. So here and, for and we need this both statement to be true, but for or we need only one statement to be true. Okay, so that's the difference between and or. Now should I do it or okay, let me guess. Okay, score is 85, so this statement is true. Attendance is 75 60. So this here 1 is true, 1 is false. So basically what, this will not print because it's and. Okay, we both need this, both need to be true, but here it's greater than 80. Yes, it is false, but it's odd, so it is true. Just remember the truth table. Okay, you will learn it in EC or something. See here, I guess ellipses will run. Okay, see, now let me show the code while running it directly. Now let's run it. See here, eligible for regular exam. So basically what I'm saying, I think you will get it. What the difference between if, elif and else. Okay, see here, this is correct because score greater than 80 is true, and the or condition is elif branches tablet true even though attendance greater than 75 is false. Loops in Python for and while. Okay, now it reads for and while. I think it's going too fast. Let me break down and study you something basic. Okay, let's clear basic. So variable we had got it. Integer, floating number, string, booleans, none. Okay, logic operators in Python we had got it. Now see a type A int, type B string. Now what is input function? The function allow the user to take input from keyboard as a string. See, A is equal to input enter name. So if A is Harry, the user entered Harry. Okay, so basically what happened is this is a command, right? It will act as a command. Let me show you while running. Yes, there are a lot of tasks I will open. See, it will ask for is here. It's asking for a name. Let me run my name Mohit. You just see, now let's print this value. Print okay. Now let's run it again. Enter your name Mohit. See, it's printing Mohit. Okay. So basically A always take string value. Let me show you its type. Okay, now let's run it. Enter name Mohit. See, it's called class string. Okay, so we can here get it that A is always a string value no matter what. I mean we can convert it, but it's take string value. Like int, if you can convert it like using int and bracket it. It will be an integer now. It is converted to int, but it will be wrong. Okay, so I will not do it because it will show an error. It's a string and Mohit can be a integer. Okay, just you know that. Now this is a practice set. You can try doing it. Write a Python program to add to number. You can do it, right? Write a Python program. Reminder when number is divided by z. Check the type of variable. Assign using input function. Use comparison operator to find whether a given variable is greater than b or not. Take a is equal to 34 and b is equal to 80. We write a Python program to find the average of two numbers entered by the user. Write a Python program to calculate the square of a number entered by the user. Okay, You can do it, right? Or should we do it? Okay, we can do it one by one. Don't worry. Now let me go here. Here's the script that I had. Not using Python. It's ChatGPT, okay? Let me move this chat to top. No, yeah. Let us create a new chat and provide is this question. Now see here. For add number a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, sum a plus b is sum. Okay, just run. Let me run. And it's not running. Okay, let it. Now it can run. Why not? See. So basically, we had already given value for a and b, but we can make. But let us do it. Right. I mean, let us do it. Why should we use ChatGPT, bro? Don't use ChatGPT for everything. Try yourself first. Okay. So here we are running it first. Here, sum is equal to 30. We can also change this program like input to take input and like I just normally. Okay. Here we can write a here. Oh, that's a mistake. Okay. No worries, we can change this, bro. It's no need to go there and change that. Just do it. See, now it's asking for b value where it giving 6. Now wait, giving 14. So what do you use here? First we take input. Now you can but remember that input is a what? Input will take a string value, okay? So we need to convert it into integer. That's why we are using int. That is converting the input value into an integer. Then we are summing it, okay? Now summing it, then we are printing the sum. That's it. Now for the second question, find the remainder when a number is divided by z. You can do this. Check the type of variable assigned input. Input we had already discussed, right? Done it. A class string, whether a is greater than b, 38 greater than 80 is or quotes false. See here, f is capital. Remember that. In a boolean value, always t and f are capital, no matter what. Because if it is small, then it is not. It will be a variable. It will consider as a variable. And what is a variable? Variable is something that can store data, and it's a name of that data. Okay, a collective data. That's name is called variable. Then find the average of two number entered by the user. A plus b by 2. Okay, do it yourself, you will get it. See, arithmetic mean like we're increasing this value, removing this, increasing this. Normal, it's mean. Okay, don't get confused. Now the for loop and range. So what is range? See, when we mention range like for I in range, so range is what? Range is it has a start position and end position, and in Python it has a step. Okay, So basically this is a start position like 1, end position 10, and step is 2. Then what will be the output? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. It will take two steps at a one time till 10. Okay. It can cross 10, and it can equal to it, and also remember that it will not equal to 10. Okay, it is always be less than 10. Got it? Like it is there but it is not there. Remember limit. Okay, so if we take float value from here, it will always reach 10 but it will never reach, it will never be 10. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Now the output is 135. Then run as long as condition evaluates to true. Count is equal to 3. See, for 4, basically we use for I in range, and also remember that before I we need to initialize it, like in Python it's not required. But in other languages like C++, we need to first mention that I is an variable or integer, something like that. But Python it's normal, just do it. That's why everyone first language is Python. It's a beginner friendly language. Remember that. For I in range 162, just print I and okay. So here ends. What is this doing? Let think of a guess. Think something. What is this doing here? So basically, after it print I, there will be a gap because of this. See here, I 1. Here is a space, then 3, then another space, then 5. Okay, see, let me do it. See here. Okay, let me show you. We are giving dollars in, okay, because USA gonna put some tariff in India, bro. Come on. For that reason, like China or I think you can get that joke from IGL season 2. Now let's print here. See here. I space dollar space 3 space dollar space 5 space dollar. Okay. That's what the duty of AND is. Output will be one space. Okay. I think we're good. Get it? So what is 4? I mean what for 2? So basically 4 will run this program till the limit of I reach. So it run the program loop again and again, okay, in a circle again and again till its range is out. Okay, let me show you what written here. Okay, the list we'll do it. Don't worry about it. I should be fast to list. Then let me first clear what 4 is. Okay, loops in Python file. See here, 4 item print else. So here range. Okay, so range is start, stop, step size. So whatever 4 will run I from 0 to 7. Okay, remember 0 to 6, like it will never reach 7 because here I is int, therefore 0 to 6. Okay, so basically what we return and code is like, see, it will run from 0 to n minus 1. So basically here n is the step, the range of I. Okay, it will never reach n but it always reach n minus 1, and what, the loop will run this much time, n minus 1. So if someone asks how much the loop will run, but also remember that if there is no step, then it will run for n minus 1 time. So we don't need to write here print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4, okay? But if there is a step, then just step it. Like here we are stepping 1 plus 2 3 plus 2 5, just like that, count it till it reaches 6. It will not reach 6, okay, remember that. Till I mean it will reach the limit of 6, okay, got it? Limit of n, okay. So let me use some extension so that you can what I had taken a picture of them, because I don't remember the extension here. I'm sorry for that. It's called ridiculous coding, okay? Let's try ridiculous coding extension. Ridiculous coding, let me download it. Okay. What happened here? How to run it? See here, ridiculous coding effect. Okay, let's see. Let's get back to our topic. Do you like it, or should we change it? Oh, sorry. Let's come back here. Does it make the coding more interesting? Okay. This is how loop will run. So limit up and remember that. Just make the coding more interesting. That's why I just use it. Okay. So I mean you can try it, but I don't like it. Distract me something like okay. It's good, okay. It will more interesting. Like if I do it in class, sometimes it's get ugly. So that's why I like. I was basing color themes a lot. Now let's get back to the topic. You can try ridiculous coding. Okay, it's very nice. I mean, it's keep interesting. Keep the program not boring, interesting. Because I'm teaching now, that's why I'm not using it. But in class, I definitely use it. Okay. And in normal practice, I'm like me time. Now for loop is clear, I guess. Let me show you again that what coding question is. You can try this coding questions. Now let's get back to while. So while is count is equal to 3. While this statement is true, Okay, this condition is true. Till that time the program will run. And always remember to give the best cases that will lead to the satisfaction of the. Okay, remember. Still there. Oh, let it. Or should I remove it? Remember, while loops always run till the best condition is satisfied. Okay, so that's for you. The while loop is so. I mean, you should try it using. Okay. Now you can run it. Okay. Just do it. Now, what is break? So, loop control statement. Because sometimes what happens is when you are using while loop, it will stuck in infinite. And if it run infinite time, then I guess the laptop will crash. There are many things that will happen. So, remember that don't run it. Because when it will run infinite time, remember it, the laptop will not work. Okay, it will lag and it will stop working. So just press the power button for few minutes. It will reset like 10, 20 seconds, or 3 seconds, 5 seconds. That much of time the power button take to reset, right? I mean restart. Okay. So now how to control the loop statement? Because there are, for beginner it is a common mistake that they make it to a infinite loop. Okay. So for that we use break and continue. So what does break do? Break actually terminate the loop entirely, while continue skip the rest of the current iteration and move to the next. Okay, so what will this print loop? Like for num and range this, and here see what sometimes it's happen, bro, because I am using this extension. Okay, I think you know, everyone will know it, right? See this extension because it's nice. Like see here, directly give the, I mean directly explain what is happening here. Are you getting it? See, explain code. It is directly explaining what this code is. See, what is this? The code uses for loop statement that iterates through number 1 to 5, range 1 to 6, generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For each, it applies check, quick check, first I, first I, 3, continue. Okay, see, let me show you. See here, for first iteration 1, neither condition triggered, so it prints 1. For second condition, neither condition triggered, so it's print 2. But in third, continue skips the rest iteration nothing. So in third, for third time, मतलब for 3, when I is equal to 3, let's see what did it just get cut. I mean here see. For when num is equal to 3, it is continuous. So what happen? It will skip this iteration, and if n is equal to 5, like you see, for 3 it's print nothing, but for 4 neither condition triggers, so it's print 4. Like this to if statement is not satisfied for 4, therefore it will return 4. But for 5, the for 5 here it is break, therefore the iteration will stop immediately, like break. See, continue skip the current iteration and jumps to the next one. So when num is equal to 3, printing it skip, but the loop moves on to 4. In break, terminate the entire loop immediately. So when num is equal to 5, the loop ends before it can print 5. And end is equal to comma space max print and with a space instead of a new line, so the numbers appears on one line. In short, 3 is skipped, 5 stops the loop, and only 1, 2, 4 get printed on a single line. So this is what happening here. Okay, let's close it. Where is the close? uh, it's getting lag a little. See? Oh, okay, for this it's lag. Now it will not lag. Okay. So what will be the output? I would already run 1, 2, 4. Let's check it. So you can also use this. It's the extension in Chrome. Okay. I think everyone should know it, right? Something that helps us study or for different work also. Now exactly when num is equal to 3, continue skip the print statement. When num is equal to 5, break stops the loop immediately before printing 5. Now let's move on to unit 2, string and list. Okay, let's take a break of 1 minute. Okay, see. Slicing. Both string and list support zero based indexing. Slicing using the syntax start, stop, step. So what is zero index? Basically the indexing in a list always start from 0. Okay, so normal string also act as a index. Let's read this. See here, data types, type, yes. See here, name is called Harry. Harry is a string. But the index is 0 for H, A for 1, R for 2, R for 3, Y for 4. And what is negative index? So the last element always start from -1. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Positive index start from 0, negative index start from -1. The index in a string start from 0 to length -1 in Python. In order to slice a string, we use the following syntax: name as start to end. Okay. So basically what we are doing, this name is Zeri. Okay, it's storing string, but we are using this bracket to split it to make it a list. See here word store amazing amazing, but we are using here this is start, stop, and what is this? This is step. Okay, so 0, 1. 1 is what? M, therefore M print. Then M to Z, therefore Z print. Okay. Now Z to N, therefore N print. That's why N Z N print. Okay. Other and advanced slicing technique, word amazing, like word -7 to -1, therefore amazing this all print. -7 how? See here, G is -1, N is -2, I is -3, Z is -4, A is -5, M is -6, A is -7. Therefore this print. Okay, till -1, not -1. Remember that. Now what is this? Here see, only the end is mentioned here. So basically what happened, it will print from 0 to 6. Got it? From 0 to 6, not 7. Got it? And here 5, so everything is printing because there is only 6. Therefore, the item is till 6, not greater than 6. Okay. Now what is string function? So string function are that are used for string operation. Like string is what? String is variable string. Okay, like name or something. Now your first function is len. It will return the length of the string. Ends with check if the string ends with the given statement. So basically string that ends with rry. So basically it's checking if rry is the last statement of this string. Okay, if it if it is, then it will give us true. So that's how ends with work. Now come to count. So what does count do? Basically, when you want to know how much variable is or string is repeating in a name, like for let me take example of Harry. How much time R comes? It comes 2 times. Okay. Like for a random name like Virat Kohli, how much time K come? 1 time. That's all. How much time I come? 2 times. Okay. So what is capitalize? It's used to capitalize the first word, not the whole word, only first word. Okay. Now find used to find the output. It will do what? It will return you the index where R is. And if you are giving this 2R, so it will verify the 2R and giving the first index like 0 1 2. From here it is to 3, but it will give you 2. Okay, just like that replace is word, replace old word new word. So when you are giving the old word plus the new word, it will replace the new word with the old word. Okay, just like this here, Harry were replacing L from with R, so it is giving you Harry, Hallie. Okay, so that's how this work. Just to wait a minute. Okay, let's continue then. Now escape sequence character. In Python we use this sequence of characters to do some function like n. While printing, when you write backward slash backslash n, it will move to the new line. Okay, like new yt, it will move to the new tab. Y this quote, single quote, double slash backslash. Okay, that's how everything works. Now these are a few questions. You can try it yourself. Just do it. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I'm here to explain you. Now then, your list and tuple. So Python list are container to store set of values any data. So basically what happened? Here see, in a list you can store any type of data types. Here it is string, it is also string, it is string, it is int, and it is boolean. Is also boolean. Tell me, is it a boolean? Just search it. That's something confusing for you, but you search it, you'll get it. Okay, just try to search it so that you can get. You will on forget it. Like search this small f else. Is it a boolean value or not? Okay, Now what is list indexing? Just like string indexing, we have list indexing. The all same. Like now, see here, sort. So sort is used for sort the list. Reverse used for reversing the list. Append used for add the list, add the 8 at the end of the list. Insert used for this 3 at index 8. No. This will add 8 at index 3. So basically this is the index and this is the value. So 8 will be at the index 3. Okay. So that's how indexing work. I think it's clear, right? What is pop? So pop will delete the index at 2 and return its value. So basically if when you delete an item, we use remove. Remove, it will remove 21. Like remove, delete, there are many things that we use to delete. Okay, but what pop make difference from them? So basically pop will remove the value, delete the value from the list, and it will return it. Like if you write L, this A is equal to L1 dot pop 2. So basically now A will have 2. Okay, the value at index 2. A will store that value. Okay, so basically what happened? Pop is returning that value, but in remove it will remove it. Okay, now tuple. Tuple is an immutable data type in Python, while list is a mutable data type. Okay, remember that. When we declare empty, we can just declare like that. For single, we can declare a is equal to 1 comma. Okay, so we need to comma for a one element that needs comma, and a is 1 comma 8 7 comma 2. Okay, that's how it works. And tuple, okay, it will count 1, it will return how much time. Index 1, you can directly check index, count 1. You can directly do it in Python using functions, but one point is that if you are fast doing Python, okay, so if Python is a fast language and after that you are doing C or C++, there will not find this. Okay, in C and C++ you need to write a proper function to count and to get the index value. Okay, there is no function that you can use, but you can create your own library and use that. That's little advanced. You can get to know after few days of practicing code. Okay, you can get it. Everything is there in the internet. Just try it, you will get it. Now list and common methods. See, fruits: apple, banana, cherry, append orange. See, adds to the end. Insert one mango. So insert at index 1 the value of mango. Okay, remove banana, it will remove this element. That's how list work. Now do it, try it. Some homework for you. Okay, try this, take a screenshot of this and try doing solving this, and try to solving this all. Got it? And we'll meet you in the next class. I think this lecture is better than rest of all my lectures. Yeah, I'm improving, bro. Come on. Now let's just do some questions. Like, let's see what type of script ChatGPT is given for me. Okay, see here. Since you are trying to teach Python rather than just depend on AI, don't read the script word for word while academia. Use it as a background for every concept. Explain code yourself, make a small mistake intentionally, fix it, give viewers a challenge. But as you see, we had already completed our 60 minutes without using the script. So I think you know what to do now. So that's all for today. This is a course that I am doing. I'm just checking, okay, and that's it. So try solving this. This is a code theory handbook, okay? Remember that, not mine. Now trying solving all this. We'll continue in the next lecture from this. If I get good reviews or if you want, comment it out, then we'll do it. So that's it for today. Let's meet after. Let me show you my desktop. Okay, see, this is my desktop. Now let's meet in the next class. These are all the codes for today.
And
That's
that's it for this video. The slide deck we just went through along with all example code is available to download in the description. Grab it if you want to revise later or try the example yourself before you move on. This is a part of a full series covering the entire INT 108 Python programming syllabus from start to finish. So if you want to keep going, the rest of the series is linked in the description too. A quick tip before you go, the best way to actually hold on to what we just covered is to open your own editor and try it yourself, not just watch. I am Mohit Kumar Panigrahi. This is my summer project and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.